this section, we're going to talk a little bit more about how the Roto shapes composite and layer. So I'm selecting the Bezier spline tool, and I'm just going to create a circle. Now right now, the Roto node is set to draw into only the alpha channel, but it can draw into any channel you like. It can also create new layers altogether. So for now, let's just enable it to be able to draw into all of the RGB and A channels. You'll see now Nuke has given us a dialog where it is allowing us to control which channels we have it right into, not only the alpha channel. So let's view the node by clicking it and hitting 1 to connect the viewer. And I'm going to create another shape really quickly, just to bring up the dialog at the top, or the menu items at the top of the viewer that are active when the tool is active. You'll notice I have the option of choosing what color I create when I draw. So I can actually either pick the color or select the color using a color picker. So I'm going to make a blue shape, let's say, for this one, blue-ish shape. So now when I draw, I get a blue shape. The way that Nuke layers shapes is from bottom to top, just like Photoshop and many other programs. So if I create another shape, let's create a square, and I will make this one a reddish color, holding down Shift while I drag to get a perfect square. You'll see that it's composited it right on top. The Roto node has multiple different compositing modes internally, so I'm not constrained to a single mode of compositing them. By default, it chooses over as the compositing mode. But if I left click here, I can choose from any number of other compositing modes. Sometimes minning, maxing, adding, or subtracting can be a useful strategy. For example, let's subtract this. And rather than making it a red color, I'm going to make it maxed out so it's the exact same color I'm compositing it over. So now what I've effectively done is I've knocked a hole in not just the color, but I'm going to show the alpha. I've also knocked a hole in the alpha. Now, subtract is not the only strategy that would work here. I could also just as easily do something like a min and make the color of this perfectly black, including the alpha channel, and knock a hole in there as well. Another strategy that would also work would be to make the shape black. Make the shape black like this. Make the alpha solid and use an over to achieve the same thing. So as you can see, all the same compositing logic. The thing is that won't knock it out of the alpha. All the same compositing logic applies to these shapes as what you would find in the merge node, except for that it's all internal to the Roto node. As previously mentioned, layers can be used to group the Roto shapes together, but they always have this default root layer that you can use as well. So if I don't anticipate having a more complex hierarchy, I can simply use this root layer to keep the group together and transform the entire group. So that's a useful feature. Let's look at a useful example of something that you can do with Roto shapes and some of these additional modes, like the clone tool.